I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Pop superstar Justin Bieber was once mentored by Sean Diddy Combs. Now, after Combs' arrest on federal sex trafficking charges, old videos are raising questions about Combs' interactions with Bieber.
Today, we've got a bombshell story that is shaking the entire entertainment world to its core. Diddy completely lost it after Justin Bieber came forward and revealed dark secrets about hotel freak-offs and violent incidents that no one expected would ever come to light. This is the kind of revelation that doesn't just trend for a day.
Many people are wondering whether other celebrities were a part of these freak-offs, and worse, is it possible that some people, maybe other celebrities, were actually victimized? We don't know at this point, but what we do know is that videos of Sean Combs and Justin Bieber have been all over X and TikTok for days. Specifically this one when Bieber was 15.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, come get the front shot of this.
Man.
Right now. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to be driving this next year.
Now, that video has been viewed more than 5 million times on Justin Bieber's YouTube channel. He was 15 at the time, and he was staying with Combs for 48 hours.
You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know, he did his first album. I did Usher's first album.
Justin Bieber is now a pop megastar. He's loved by fans around the world. In 2009, at the time of this video, though, he wasn't really known. He was just a kid, and his first album was coming out. Bieber is originally from Canada, and Usher signed him to manage his career. Usher actually got his start in the business through Sean Combs. He lived with him for a year when he was 13. And Usher talked about his time living with Combs on The Howard Stern Show back in 2016. He was sent to what was called Puffy Flavor Camp.
And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I ain't say that.
Okay.
It's the kind that could change the face of the music industry, destroy reputations, and spark a wave of new investigations. The fallout is just beginning, and already fans, celebrities, and insiders are struggling to process what this all means. It all started when Justin Bieber, in what many are calling his most honest and emotional moment yet, finally spoke out about experiences he's kept quiet about for years. People close to Bieber say this wasn't easy for him. These weren't just casual stories or harmless memories. These were events that left deep scars. According to what's now come out, Justin revealed details about private hotel gatherings, the so-called freak-offs, where things spiraled out of control. He talked about situations where violence was present, where intimidation was used, and where younger artists felt powerless, unable to walk away, unable to say no. And at the center of all this, according to Bieber, was Diddy.
When asked if he would send his kids to live with Sean Combs, Usher said, hell no. But back to Justin Bieber and the videos of him making the rounds with Combs. The one from when he was 15 has raised some eyebrows, given what we know now.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about.
Now let's be clear. This could have all just been a joke. But in 2020, Justin Bieber gave a tearful interview to Apple Music in which he talked about wanting to protect Billie Eilish from the music industry and the things that he had been through. There are other videos of Bieber and Combs that have circulated online.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you haven't. I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Again, does this video mean anything? It could just be a teenage kid caught in an awkward moment. In 2015, Combs presented Bieber with an American Music Award for Best Collaboration. And there's another video showing a birthday celebration. It shows an exchange on one of Bieber's birthdays. And finally, the fourth video making the rounds was recorded 3 years ago. Let's play that again. Some speculated that Combs was looking to see whether Bieber was wearing a wire when he patted him down. It seemed a little awkward for sure. Around this time last year, Combs and Bieber collaborated on the song Moments for Diddy's The Love album, Off the Grid. This was, of course, before the first allegations made by Cassie Ventura surfaced. Combs settled the suit with her in a day, and then the federal raid happened in March of this year. So far, Justin Bieber, like many people who know Combs, has been silent. There may be a good reason for that. He just became a father for the first time. A source close to Bieber told People he's aware of Diddy's arrest and the allegations, but added, it's not anything that he wants to focus on, though. The insider, likely Bieber's publicist, continued, saying Bieber's been in a happy bubble since baby Jack was born.
The moment this information hit the public, everything changed. Diddy, once seen as a kingmaker, as a mogul who could do no wrong, suddenly found himself under a harsh spotlight that few could survive. Reports say Diddy absolutely lost it when he heard what Justin had revealed. Sources close to him describe scenes of pure rage. He reportedly stormed out of meetings, shouted at his team, and at one point was so out of control that security had to step in to calm him down. This wasn't just frustration. This was a man watching his empire, his legacy and his carefully crafted image begin to crumble before his eyes. And the internet wasted no time reacting. Within minutes, social media platforms were flooded. People took to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, sharing their shock, their anger, and their heartbreak. Fans of Justin Bieber expressed their support, saying they were proud of him for having the courage to speak out. Many said they had always suspected something darker lay beneath the surface of the music industry.
Okay, let's talk about singer Justin Bieber. Now 31 years old, he was discovered when he was just 12, went on to become one of the most best-selling musical artists of all time, had some pretty high-profile influences like R&B superstar Usher, became Justin's mentor, controversial record executive Scooter Braun was his manager as the teen basically shot to stardom. And among his celebrity acquaintances was, of course, music titan Sean Diddy Combs, who had been Usher's mentor in the 90s and early 2000s. And Bieber had spent some time with Combs over the years. Combs' wild party lifestyle has always been something of an open secret, with him often joking about it on daytime and late-night talk shows. But in the last year or so, very, very different. More and more allegations have started to come out against Combs that are really no laughing matter. Civil lawsuits that made rape and extortion claims, rumors that celebrities could be involved in nefarious behavior with Combs behind closed doors, even claims by one man that he had in his possession actual sex tapes featuring Combs and other celebrities. And as we know, Combs is currently on trial in the Southern District of New York on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. By the way, and as week one wraps up, check out all of our Diddy coverage on Long Crime's YouTube channel. We've been breaking down all of the latest developments. So not only do we do daily recaps with our correspondent Elizabeth Milner, who's inside the courtroom because there's no cameras there, but we've also been doing legal analysis with some of our favorite guests, breaking down the big legal issues that are happening every day in that court, so make sure to go check it out. But one of the biggest rumors that has been hanging over the entire Diddy saga was Justin Bieber a victim of his alleged predatory and inappropriate behavior? Well, I'll tell you what, now, as week one of Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering trial comes to a close, Justin Bieber's camp is finally responding. So his representatives told TMZ, quote, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. So to talk about this, I want to bring back on former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. Nima, so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming here on Sidebar. I want to talk about the timing of this statement from Justin Bieber's camp. This can't be just a coincidence.
No, it can't be, because one of the biggest questions in the Diddy trial is what other celebrities will be named, who participated in the freak-offs and who witnessed the freak-offs. I mean, Diddy's white parties are infamous. And one of the victims that people have been talking about for about a year and a half now has been Justin Bieber. And now finally, after week 1 of trial, when we know that Don Richard is the next witness and we're going to start hearing who the government thinks is going to help corroborate their case, we are not going to hear from Justin Bieber. And it really goes back.
But hearing it confirmed by someone like Justin made it all the more real. Others expressed their disbelief, struggling to reconcile the Diddy they admired with the person now being described. The discussions online have gone beyond just Diddy and Justin. People are asking the bigger questions. How many other artists were put in these situations? How many other young stars were manipulated or pressured into silence? How many other stories are out there waiting to be told? This isn't just about one man's actions anymore. This is about an industry that has, for far too long, protected its most powerful figures at the expense of the vulnerable. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time people have whispered about Diddy's private life. For years, there have been rumors, hints, and allegations that something wasn't quite right. But nothing ever stuck. No one ever came forward in a way that shook the foundations. Until now. Justin's words have opened the floodgates, and people are starting to look at the past through a new lens. Old interviews, old stories, old footage, all being re-examined for clues, for signs, for moments that now take on a different meaning. What's also striking is the way Diddy's outburst has added fuel to the fire. Losing control so publicly, at a moment when the world is watching, sends a message whether he intended it or not. It tells people he's rattled. It tells people this isn't just another baseless accusation to brush off. It tells people he knows how serious this is. Legal analysts, PR experts, and fans alike are breaking down every reaction, every comment, every move he makes now. And with good reason. Because from this point on, every decision Diddy makes,
we can't really disclose.
As Sean Diddy Combs enters his 5th day in federal court, hearing testimony from his ex, Cassie, and soon members of Danity Kane, there's one high-profile star the jury might not be hearing about. Justin Bieber, breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about.
We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the industry led him to this point.
It's an emotional time in my life, for sure. I've been
having a lot of cries lately. Just all around just being emotional. I think it just shows how much I care.
Justin, on the other hand, is being praised as brave, as a truth teller, as someone willing to put his own peace at risk in order to speak out for what's right. Fans are rallying behind him, calling him a role model not just for his music, but for his willingness to stand up and tell his story. And it's not just his fans. Advocates for survivors, mental health experts, and other artists are adding their voices, saying this could be the start of something bigger, a moment of reckoning for an industry that desperately needs it. Other celebrities are watching closely too. Some have already spoken out, expressing shock, offering support, or simply urging people to listen. Others are staying silent, perhaps out of fear, perhaps because they know more than they're ready to say. That silence, in many ways, speaks louder than words. It reminds us that this isn't just one isolated story. This is part of a larger, more troubling pattern that has been ignored for far too long. And then there's the legal side of this, because make no mistake, what Justin has revealed could have serious legal consequences. If these events are investigated, if more people come forward, if charges are brought, this could lead
really talking about the other victims, and it wasn't alleged victims. He said other victims, well, through his spokesperson. So I think that is very, very important. This isn't a Michael Jackson type case where, celebrities are rushing to Combs' defense. Very few people are. And the fact that you have someone come out that really isn't 50 Cent or someone who, is trying to make light of it or a documentary about it and really point the finger at Diddy, that's a big deal, Jesse.
Mm-hmm. And he mentioned harmed by him, right? It was very specific language. They were genuinely harmed by him, and the shifting focus away from this reality distracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. There's no way to parse that language.
There isn't, and the defense is obviously trying to separate physical harm from sex trafficking and sexual assault, but the average person who's watching isn't going to be making that distinction. That may matter in the case, but it's not going to matter in the court of public opinion.
And Bieber's statement, it comes as this TikTok started floating around on Friday. There was a doctored image of Bieber where he allegedly announces that he's going to testify against Combs, but the video was quickly debunked as fake. And Nima, you think at the end of the day, are we going to see some celebrity or celebrity friends testify at this trial?
I think we have to, because there's got to be independent witnesses that, saw some of this, right? I'm not saying maybe the actual freak-offs themselves, maybe there are other participants, but, Combs was very public, and Cassie Ventura, to the extent that she was abused, look, it's like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? You got Kate Moss was brought into that case. People that are rich and famous celebrities, they have rich and famous celebrity friends, right? That's why Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, we're talking about Taylor Swift. This is a small circle here in Hollywood. So the independent witnesses are very likely going to be other celebrities. So I think we're just starting to scratch the surface when it comes to that.
So the question becomes, why do fans believe that Justin Bieber could have been one of Sean Combs' targets, right? You mentioned it before. Well, as the legal saga against Combs ramped up last year, there was video clips that started to resurface of Combs and Bieber spending some time together. And people noticed that the videos often kind of straddled the line between awkward and inappropriate.
To courtrooms, lawsuits, and even potential criminal cases. It could mean the end of Diddy's career, not just in the court of public opinion, but in the eyes of the law. It could also mean sweeping changes in how the music industry operates as companies scramble to protect themselves and distance themselves from the fallout. The speculation is running wild right now. Some believe Diddy might try to settle privately, hoping to quiet the storm before it gets worse. Others think he'll fight back, deny everything, and try to discredit Justin and anyone else who speaks out. But whatever path he chooses, the damage has already been done. His name is now tied to these dark allegations, and it's going to be nearly impossible to separate the man from the stories that are now out in the open. Fans are grappling with their own feelings, too. The betrayal, the shock, the anger. It's all there. Many grew up listening to Diddy's music, admiring his success, seeing him as a symbol of what was possible. And now they're being forced to question everything they thought they knew. It's a painful process, but one that's necessary if real change is ever going to happen. And the conversation keeps growing. People are sharing their own experiences, their own stories of feeling unsafe, unheard, or mistreated in the music world. They're calling for accountability, not just for Diddy, but for every powerful figure who has abused their position. They're demanding that the industry take a long, hard look at itself and finally make the changes that have been needed for so long. Meanwhile, media outlets are covering every angle, every development, every reaction. This is the kind of story that won't go away quietly. The public is invested. They want answers. They want justice. They want to see what happens next. And with every passing day, new pieces of the puzzle are emerging. New voices are joining the chorus. New details are coming to light. And it's clear that we're only at the beginning of this journey. Diddy's team is reportedly working around the clock, trying to manage the crisis. They're exploring every option, from legal strategies to PR campaigns, trying to find a way to regain control of the narrative. But with the court of public opinion already turning against him, that may prove impossible. Once the truth starts to come out, it's hard to put it back in the box. On the other side, Justin seems focused, determined, and supported. He knows the road ahead won't be easy. Speaking out always comes with risks, but the outpouring of support he's received so far has shown that people are listening, people care, and people are ready to stand with him as he navigates this difficult path. So what happens next? That's the question on everyone's mind. Will more people come forward? Will Diddy face legal consequences? Will the music industry finally be forced to change? The answers aren't clear yet, but one thing is certain. This story has opened the door to a conversation that can't be ignored any longer. The days of looking the other way, of protecting the powerful at the expense of the vulnerable, are coming to an end. And as this story continues to unfold, we'll be right here bringing you every update, every revelation, every twist and turn. Because this isn't just celebrity gossip. This is about truth, accountability, and the future of an industry that shapes so much of our culture. Stay tuned, because if what we've seen so far is any indication, this is far from over. The next chapters are going to be even more explosive. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you standing with Justin Bieber? Do you think Diddy can come back from this? What do you think needs to happen for real change to take place? Your voice matters. Join the conversation. This is a moment we'll all remember.